Hello there. Nice title. Have I spelled something wrong? S3 F1 Division Round 1 Japan. Wait, what? Have I, did it come up as... Oh! Nah, it's fine. It normally does that. I always get as well on my notifications. So, don't you worry. It's all good. But again, hello and welcome everybody for the first round of Season 3 of EFES. I'm your commentator for tonight, Cooler Deadpool or Cooler. And tonight, we're joined by the season opener of Japan's Suzuka Circuit, which from many points of views we've heard that it is not one of the most favourite races with these regs of cars. Now everybody is jumping out as early as possible now to get the most amount of lap times as possible. Before anything, I am going to get up all the telemetry I can do. But a lot of new teams here for tonight, and a few mixes and all of that. We're of course missing a few drivers and a few teams. I think we're missing both Alpines. We'll have a look on who's who in a minute. We are just going to do the final things. Yeah, that's him, exactly. There we go. And we're just going to be watching FST Robin. We do know who FST are. Very known esports team here. Been competing for a few seasons now. And looking for a good amount of points. And possibly, I haven't really had a good interview with the owners, and I might try to do that just to make this a little bit more interesting. But of course, we're going to follow the main guy, Robin, for the start of the lap. Of course, there's a lot of strategies on the way to deploying stuff with these new regulations. But with Robin here, he's going to start deploying very early onto the lap. Up to 8th gear. That's where you'll start to minimize power. And into the inside, very tight though, very good. And going wide onto the exit, like what we do. Attacking turn 2, 3, onto 4, and then 5 as well. See if he deploys now going into turn 6. Yes, he does a little bit of a click on the battery. He will have a little bit of traffic in front of him, but it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Now, quick jab into the right-hander. And then another one. And a little bit of a recorrection there, but nothing too bad for him. And now going into the hairpin. I'm not sure if it's called spin, and a big flip for Robin. Big flick for Robin. And I actually would prefer a I'd actually prefer Suzuka map here. Now going into 130R, no battery for Robin. But of course Robin will be the first driver to set a benchmark. And then entering in, I can't remember, triangle corners or something if I'm not wrong. And a big shunt of oversteer going into the final corner. And it's a 28.9. I crashed. Can you invite me, please? Please, VMV Grenade. Oh yeah, there we go. Can you add Cooler Deadpool, please? It's much easier than me having to stop broadcast and stuff. And Ryan, VRM, Ryan goes pole, and Victor goes even quicker. So a few teams are looking to find time, and even quicker goes Salvo. We're actually missing a few drivers here, saying lap times. Yanni is also set a lap time. And now following up is one of the Hasses. And then a Mercedes of a Max on there. He moves up to 4th. We're finally getting a little bit of riddance. Then following up is the Red Bull. And he's going back into the pits. And now with the McLaren of Zozo. Finally, and he moves up to 5th. And then there's another Haas, or if it's a Caddy, there's a Cadillac of Net Bernie, VMV Grenade mate. VMV Grenade has been kicked from the lobby, so if he can send me an invite, that would be a friend request because I cannot search friends here. I don't think I also have him. We will just quickly check. But if I'm 100% sure, he has joined again, so he is back in the lobby. That is perfect to see. My driver I actually had a lot of respect for, and I think will do well this race. I did message him privately. Yeah, don't thank me, thank the host. I tried to invite you, but I didn't have your name. Anyway, we're going to watch Marco Pennis on the lap. And we're going to also, first of all, talk about the teams. Now, there's a new few teams who are showing up for their debut probably season. I hope so. We will have to have a few talks with the following owners, maybe. If we even get a... yeah, there's a little bit of wrong spelling for me on the... Yeah, I can see that now. Anyway, I did ask. And it is none other than F1 management. There's F1... So, we start from the top. And we start with the FST lads. And of course, it's Zozo and Robin, of course, showing their support or driving for FST. Those we all know. I think these guys are new in here, but it's VMR and there's also Bestie. We can actually... No, it's not Bestie. Both are the VRM. What the fuck is this fucking game? Is it bugging for you a lot, Grenade? Yeah, I can understand that. I do not like. Anyways, VMR with a strong performance so far in the Mercedes. With Ryan and Max, 3 and 4. One of them is actually going out already from the pits. I think that is Ryan. Yeah, it says he's going out from the outlap. And following that, it's the Red Bulls of FSR. Load of F starting for this season. And FSR. I'm not even going to pronounce with my ADHD. FSR Beton, who is on an outlap now, and his team in the garage. Yusifarok. Yeah. I'm not even going to attempt that. Anyway, another few drivers is Salvo and Victor with VLS. Everybody's going out again. I think it's starting to... Time is ticking. 10 minutes go. But VLS, strong performance so far with provisional pole and also a around about a 30, what did you say, 300 deficit to his teammate, Victor. Then of course we're moving over to the solo QDR driver, Johnny. I don't think I saw him in the qualifiers list, but he's on an outlap testing those battery placements, possibly. And all the best to these guys. I think it's the one with the logo of the horse, isn't it? Looks like a Tifosi. His team might have joined because it is another QDR driver. So we'll hope that QDR get the drivers in line and they can compete in the rest of this session. Up next is the V-Carbs of X7M. One of them is out on the outlap now, and it's Max and Charles on an outlap as well. Soon about to start, just going past Spoo now. And we'll move over to the Aston Martins, who are not showing up, but it is PR in the Aston car, so we all know who they are. Tagging along to the Hasses in this lineup, it's WRL, and representing VRL today is Baby Driver F1, and then also the teammate of IGLXD Matt4TH1. Sorry for that bad pronouncement. But he's starting his lap just now, so we'll move back over to him in a bit. And going to the actual new car for this game, it's none other than the Audis of VZN. Now, Battisti is going up on his time with 100. The Williams will have to move away of none other than someone. Could be QDR Anthony. Can you invite me, please? You'll have to add me, mate. I said that. I don't think I have you as a friend. I can try. I can see here. But for me, it doesn't say... I only have... Cooler Deadpool with no capitals. I have the host. Yeah, try to host. But he's invited you so many times, so I don't know if it will work for you. But give it a go. Try to add through the host. If he's here. Anyway, we're watching Basti set a lap time. It's looking quite strong though. And he moves up to 4th. Basti moves up to 4th. I could try to tell Gojo to go to get shit up and invite you. I'll try my best as well to mention him, but I'll see if I can DM him or if we've got his attention now. I do apologise for this. We're just trying to get everybody in so everybody has a fair shot of this debut round for season 3. I'll spell it out to you. There you go. That's my EA. So try to add me. Anyway, we missed Basti setting a lap time for 4th, but knocking down to 5th. And we'll try again with if we can get a thing. Anyway, up next is XR, who aren't showing up either, so that's another team we're missing. And then, of course, VMV. Trying to get VMV Grenade in here. And but his teammate, Nat Benry, is on a cooldown lap by the looks of it. Or if it's a push lap. I'm not 100% sure, but it might be a push lap. He is deploying it. Not a lot of battery, though, so it might be a... Yeah, it's a cooldown lap to go into the garage. And now we await... for the following drivers to enter the pits. Max is going in as well, P4. With both the Ferraris as well going into pits. A little bit been held up from Salva there. Victor's been held up, so it's not really... Well, not Victor's not... He's holding up his teammate. Excuse me for my bad pronunciation. And we still have a few drivers on the lap, including this man, Basti. He is on an improvement though, 8/10 with the purple sector. So going into the hairpin, very close here. In the F125 cars, you would want to take that in 3rd gear, but for this, I think it would be between 2nd and 3rd, depending on how you want the outcome to be. But going into Spoo now, and this is one of the more hardest corners to try to get right. He's going too far, could almost put you off, but deploying that battery now all the way through the old pit straight and now entering 130R, but he is down on his time, so it's not looking good for him, but hopefully he can find a little bit of improvement because it's very tight between everybody tonight with a 10th to P4. So will he even find any sort of improvements, or he is entering the pits? He just believes that there's no point in continuing with that lap and then heading to the pits to change those tyres and go for one additional run before he stops. Anyway, we'll move over to his teammate, if that is his teammate. Yep, Marco. I think we saw him pre-season, but he is not on the lap, and he's going to go into the pits possibly and change those tyres again, like everybody else are doing at the moment. Now coming up next behind him is none other than Anthony, and Anthony is on the lap, and he moves up to P16 with his performance there. I don't think one of the FST guys are. Looks like FSR are cooking. FSR. Wait, which one's it again? FSR Red Bull, yeah, not real. Yeah, I mean, they're at least not last, but then again, Grenade hasn't even got a chance to do a lap yet. So we, I don't want to be mean to any esports teams because I know everybody does their fair share of trying. We have the two Audis going out on, no, the two Ferraris on an outlap. And they will show their red cars in style. Awesome to see. Probably have a little chat with the team owners after this, just to get an insight. So they're in a strong position to start off very good for this season. Yeah, VMV Grenade. If you're still in chat, I hope have you got in? Max for pole incoming, and a 5-second grid penalty for VMV Grenade. What is going on here? He's out on an outlap, but 5 seconds down, 5 placements down. That is nothing you want for the first round. He's going to pass the guy he hit, which is none other than the what I think it was Salvo. I think VMV Grenade is stressing a little bit, not having a chance to actually get as many runs as he possibly would want to, and accidentally hitting one of the Scarlet Ferraris. So that is nothing really good for him. So he'll start 5 placements back from his qualifying time. So technically he could go enough for P13 and still drop at the back of the field. Anyway, VMV Grenade will start their lap now. He will be the first one to start his lap, and also will start off his first lap of this session. And also there's a few yellow flags. Another 3-second time penalty for VZN. A load of drivers are actually getting penalised for illegal blockings, but also for not impediment, but for, was there yellow flag infringements going on? Here we are. Yeah, look at this. Grid penalty for VMV Grenade. VZN Bastia for none other than VZN has got another grid penalty for illegal blocking, but his teammate as well, Marco, receiving a 5-second grid penalty for illegal blocking. So that's really bad for the VZR drivers. VZN, sorry. And that will have to be discussed what was going on there, but for the time being, there's anything they can do about it. Anyway, Salva's retired, believing that it is enough for his performance. He thinks no one else behind him will improve. But you'll just have to wait and see, because everybody is looking a little bit stronger. But Victor does not find any time in his lap, and he is, of course, the first driver. If it's not VMV Grenade, thinking he's jumped into the pits as well. So VMV Grenade has decided to completely abandon his qualifying and starting from the back of the field. Now, with Victor finding a little bit of time, there's still something, but that battery is very low. He'll have enough to... But yeah, 5-second grid penalty. Yeah, I did apologise. I did mention that wrong. It's a 5-second grid penalty. And he will find time. He goes even quick. It's just even the benchmark even higher. Anyway, let's try to get this right now. First up on the line is none other than Basti. Will he find a lot of time? No, he doesn't. Does not find any improvement. But we got another driver. He does not find any time. One of the Hasses up next. Oh my god, this is getting confusing. Yeah, a little bit of time for VL Baby Daddy driver. And going up next is none other than, have a look at someone who actually is on for a position. No, there's an invalidated lap for Ryan. That's nothing you want to know about. And Charles is not... I think he's down on his lap time though. Looking at... Yeah, he's down. He doesn't improve. What about the Red Bulls? No, they do not improve. Here comes the other one. 2 times up. And he moves up to 6th. He's slotting right in front or behind his teammate. McLaren goes next. We'll have a look at FSD Robin. He does not improve. FSD Zozo, on the other hand, might be on a better run. We can't really see it. 28.3, but I don't think there's any time there. Yeah, he found about 0.13 tenths. So it is a little bit of time at least, but I don't know who else is on a run. It is Ryan who is going back into the pits, and that is your qualifying, everybody, with a 1-2 start for none other than the two Scarlet Ferraris of VLS and the two Mercs of VRM starting P3 and 4. And if we can get this thingy going, that would be amazing. I wouldn't mind getting this. It's still loading. It's getting me a little bit frightened now. So, yeah. Nothing wrong, I hope. There we go. Oh, it doesn't even show me the results. Well, that's funny, isn't it? We love EA servers. Alpha EA servers, though. I gotta admit, that's ridiculous. Next week. And yeah, we can't even see the starting procedures, so we're just waiting for everybody to ready up. So the waiting game's on, and Deadpool is ready to absolutely scream at the camera. Scream in the microphone, not at the camera, because I don't have a camera. Ooh. And we will be awaiting those 5 red lights when they do eventually show up. And I finally get to do my infamous call sign. It's not infamous though, it's from Bob Rainey. Where have I got that from? Oh yeah, it's from Dale Waltrip, I think it is. Doing that infamous boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing boys. So that is going to be awesome stuff. So it's taken a long time, but we're waiting for players. So I think everybody is starting and readying up. So I think it will be the last few seconds now before we actually start this Grand Prix. We'll hope for a clean lap 1 without any sort of contact or I can't even spell. Trying to get Suzuka Circuit here so I can commentate a little bit better. Oh yeah, the last few turns is called Casino Triangle, for anybody wondering. As of 2025, I don't trust that. Was that the last thing they did on that? Ah, doesn't matter. We're still waiting for players, so I'm not really sure. Predictions. If you're asking me, I actually think... I have no clue. The thing is, we don't know how quick drivers are for the start of the season. A few new teams, if I'm not 100% wrong, like VLS. I don't think we've had VLS in F1 before in this division. So I'm looking to see if VLS actually do consider taking this win. But we're waiting those 5 red lights to go out. And boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing for the first round of the EFES Season 3. Good launch of VLS drivers. They get away very well compared to the VMR drivers. FST Robin moves up a placement, moving up to that 4th position, taking that from Max. But none other than Sozo as well, going for it as well, hanging on towards that inside line, and he still goes for it. We'll move over to him again, watching this battle between FST and VMR. And the Ferraris have got away really well, VLS. And behind here we can see a few drivers having a little bit of scrapping around with positions, but and that's a huge spin for LGS the Max. Sorry for that, but IGL, none of the racing for, where is his teammate? VRL, there we go, VRL. But that spin probably wouldn't have cost him too much time because he will catch up. And going around the outside is none other than Ryan on Zalvo. Ryan into the inside, he takes that P2 just before Spoon Corner, and he moves up to P2. Good stuff from Ryan, dropping down almost behind FST Robin, and now fights his way back up to the top positions. We'll actually get these positions and stuff going. And he has underfuel as well, that's good to know. Everybody's probably underfuel for this race. And Zalvo makes a good attempt to defend against FST Robin, who goes for a move probably around the R31 corner, but now into Casino Triangle curves, onto the deployment of the battery, and none other than Zozo has a good run on Max, but I don't think that would be too much because Zozo will have to recharge that battery and also sorry, thank you, and up it again. They're still going for it, fighting. Thank you so much, Luke, I do appreciate that. And moving a little bit further back, nothing really except for the V-carb of none other than X7M fighting the Cadillac, the Audi of Marco, and still going for it. And but behind him is a battle between the Red Bull, and there's a little bit of a shunt there. I think that was just internet, but Mr. Gianni in QDR, the QDR Williams, has wing damage. I think he's missing an end plate. No, he's not. He's actually fine. It looked from my screen like he missed an end plate, but he will slot now behind Bayton of the Red Bull for FCR. But now going for it again, he still fights him on into Spoon Corner, and he does take that P12 position again. Awesome stuff for the Red Bull and the Williams. And the Ferraris have got up to P1 and 2 again. Awesome stuff. That would be a good finish if they can actually hold on to that. And Team Salvo goes very defensive to cover off his teammate, but FST Robin goes in for it and he pushes Ryan off. Ryan has to, he slides all over the place. Cannot find that stability of the car. But we have a yellow flag with VMV Grenade has lost it, and he's into the barriers, into the pit barriers. And he gets going again, so that's the main thing. But very unlucky weekend for VMV. Although they have a driver still in the mix for P14, possibly a few points, it's still not looking good for that team for the moment. Evening Titan. This is a real name. It's a real guy, yeah. Big man. I don't think TDR are racing in this category. No. It's a little bit of a shame. I always like watching TDR drivers go here. Anyway, FST looking very good. I think Zozo is under the attack. No, Mr. Ryan is now with F2. Yeah, Titan. It's still in EFES. It's still in the category. So give yourself a pat on the back and your team doing really well. But you guys do belong in the top step. Will Cook Trust, I believe that. I believe that. At least again, Titan Esports and TDI gets to fight again. That's something I like to see. And still a load of battles are happening in the behind here. We're actually missing a little bit. And yeah, XMR Max going past both VMR drivers, and now FST Robin is had a go at Salvo, and he makes, yeah, it will be legendary. TDI against Titan Esports. I'll actually tell Matt about that. Titan wants a clean, amazing battle. Salvo makes another move, and there's a huge contact! And there's contact with the two drivers of Salvo and also FSC Zozo. That's so unlucky for them too. Battling it out for the absolute pinnacle of a third placement, and both of them out of contention now. And we'll have to rearrange their strategy and possibly with the engineers. Max is in, yeah, for X7M. Max stays in P3, taking advantage of that contact between FST Zozo and also the Ferrari of VLS Salvo. So he is in a good position now. 3 points placements up as well for him. Now, a few other drivers I would like to keep an eye on. If I remember, Marco might be up to something, but he's got a good amount of percentage of the battery. Same goes for the guy in behind, so it's a little bit everybody's race tonight. But then again, the quicker guys between the Mercedes, top 5 probably has a good chance of winning this. Sadly, Salvo is out of contention if he doesn't come up with an absolute masterclass of a strategy. But FSE Zozo has even been unluckier for the contact between him and Salvo. And now Max goes quicker, so Max is actually showing his true potential. But he's got a lovely run out on FSE Robin, but nothing yet. Goes and lifts, it goes in, he's almost off, that's close. And that's probably just my lag there, but still, you can see, you can understand why Mr. Deadpool decides to jump like that, because that would have been an absolute really bad thing to happen for Mr. Max. We have a few supporters of him tonight. Mr. Pickles is cooking. Got scared for a second. Yeah, exactly. I can agree. I can understand that. I do apologize for any sort of internet connection problems. So I do apologise to everybody who are watching this stream tonight. Now, we'll just keep an eye on the top guys, because this is where actually the moves are happening. Salvo's making up a few positions. Let's actually move over to Salvo. I did say that, but he's fighting Nat Benry for VMV, and I think Nat is deciding... Yeah, he's going to go back off now. Going to go down a few gears to actually absolutely do a good lift and coast here. The battery between these two drivers is at least 20% more battery. So possibly VMV Netberry will have a little bit more of a go towards Salvo, but I think Salvo has got this alright considering 130R, quite quick corner, and he's on the charge to make a position gain into the points of Yanni, try to overtake him. Everybody onto the battery now. I don't think anyone has that amazing go. We have a look here. FST Robin might have a little cheeky up nudge. And into the inside go FST Robin. And it's a huge battle, but Victor with the battery stays in front. Very close between these two drivers. We know Robin, I've seen him before. He's got pace around here. And there's another yellow flag. We'll actually move over to the back of the field. And that's the Red Bull of Baton showing inspiration for FSR. And that is nothing you'd like to see for the two FSR drivers. Back of the pack, even behind being Grenade, or a little bit in front being Grenade. Unlucky week for those three drivers, plus FSE Zozo and Zalva. But Zalva is looking alright. He's in a good position to get at least a few points for the we have to do, for fuck's sakes. So I think some people show him the disapprovements, but I think Zalvo's running a very low battery compared to his, and a little bit of a nudge. He's getting annoyed now. He's getting pushing. Yeah, that battery's all the way on to deploy, and S mode is enabled, but I think that battery will actually die out quite quickly. He slots in behind him. I think this man is going to go for a dive bomb. We hope so. No, he's going to go into the lift and coast strategy as everybody else. And he's going to plant his car and put it in 11th with Nate Berry behind him with a much stronger battery. So let's go over to him here. I don't think Zalvo will actually remain much. 7th place. Into the inside goes Nate Berry, but he has to brake to avoid action with Zalvo. I think Salvo's had a little bit of enough with that contact with Zozo. And as it stands still, no more positions have really changed. It's quite similar at the top step. Hydration break. But Batesti, there we go, is going to have a go at Baby Driver F1, and he makes a move into the curb, the hairpin, and he will get the move done. Awesome stuff from Bestie. But he has still the worries of Mr. Baby Driver F1 behind him. But it's still quite a good margin. We'll actually move over to interval so we can see the gaps between everybody to know who has overtaken and who doesn't. Give me a break. I've already said I'm dyslexic many times, but up front here goes Max on the move. Yeah, Max is cooking. He's cooking. He's in fourth. He's doing well. He's defending off the X7M driver. And he's struggling as well, so I think tire degradation is starting to fall for some drivers. But Battesti, if that's right, please let me know, because Deadpool really loves to know. But yeah, anyway, behind him here, on the attack, is Johnny on Baby Driver F1. And a few more positions. Just so close on almost being lost. Anthony loses it. And now is ghost mode on Zozo. So I think there was contact between him and the Mathor 1, if that's how you pronounce it. I do not know, and I do not really care. Respect my authority. Anyway, going inside by inside through Sector 1 is a death wish. Around Suzuka, yeah, it is. Only drivers with balls can do it. There's a huge crash behind us. We actually missed it. What's going on here? We're missing it, and I think it's between Anthony and a few other drivers. Anthony and Nat Barry crashing it, and that will be a move possibly for Zozo. No, it won't be, but there's something in the background happening there. And I think I wasn't the only one who missed it. But FSD Robin has a good go forward. Into the inside goes Ryan. What an absolute move! Late on the brakes for Ryan, and he takes that P2 position, and he's into the pits. That would have slowed down FSD Robin with a margin. Look at the gap between them two now. What an absolute move just to go into the pits. He should have continued that. Awesome stuff from Ryan. I could not admit that must have been the best move so far. Best dive bomb I've ever seen. It was so far away as well. We didn't even catch it. But man, what a move! All for him to just jump into the pits, and now he's behind. Well, he's in front of Salvo, so that must be something. But if Salvo gets in front now, he will have a good opportunity to help his friend Victor, his teammate. So Salvo does an undercut. But moving up is Max as well. He's in third still for his performance. And Baby Daddy World has made a move into Spoon with a low battery though. 20% diff between the two drivers. And that is bad for Baby Daddy. He'll have to evade now. And here goes none other than, I can't even see the name because of my thing, Charles. Charles into the inside, and he takes the placement in 130R. No late break move for Baby Daddy, and he will set himself into 9th for the straight. Now both are similar, yeah, because Baby Daddy is deciding to enter the pits, and he is now staying there. But moving up behind here, FSD Robbie making a move on Max, and Max has just sent himself behind Baby Daddy. Is it not Baby Daddy? Baby Driver. Baby Daddy. You know what? I'm resigning as commentator. I'm resigning as commentator. But I hope I do perform a little bit of a show with my bad pronunciation and constant want to talk. So I'm trying my best. Leave me alone. Anyway, we'll move over to FSD Robin again, who has now taken the lead of this Japanese Grand Prix. FSD will be hoping their best, and that's late on the brakes for Max again. Very late. We know these drivers do like to go late on the brakes. They're actually, I think they're new for the season. And yeah, he goes now for a move around the outside. And he gets a sort, and I think he actually has a good amount. Yeah, look at that. He has a good amount of power now to actually keep that lead. Because FSD Robin will now be eaten alive with a battery, but he is actually gaining for some reason. So we'll move over to that point of view. And even Audi of Wiesel Battesti is not gaining anything, but I think most drivers will actually consider the box now to cover off. They'll have to think about it. Yeah, 2 drivers in, everybody, yeah, except for Battesti. No, Marcos is our new race leader with a huge amount of clean air. So, there's a 3-second time penalty for our first driver, Beton. That is not good for, I think that is none other than the Red Bull driver. Will be our first penalty given. But he is in 3rd place with his teammate. I'm not even going to pronounce that. And fastest goes IGL. We'll actually call him IGL because I cannot be arsed with pronunciations. But now, names to keep eye on. Of course, it's Robin, who's slotted behind Salvo. That is not something really good, considering the fact that FST Robin is currently fighting for a win. VMR lads are, of course, trying to get past Victor, who got a better probably stop than they did. We can actually move over to tire telemetry to see the length of these tires. And yeah, of course, Ryan went in earlier, so he's come out ahead of his teammate. And into the inside, there's a huge crash between all of these drivers. Yeah, it goes off. Max goes off and he's get pushed off. No, he went through. Yeah, he went straight through. Caused a huge crash. And that's caused a huge amount of damage to the car. Wing damage. And that side end plate is now damaged. So he'll have to get that repaired as soon as possible. And for Salvo as well, being effective as well by that. Plus Victor as well. This might be a huge rivalry between VLS and VMR. Ryan came out. Did he come out a little unscathed from this? Yeah, he did, but he's still trying to fight FST Robin for that placement. But now going on to the main straight where everybody has the most amount of ERS, or should have at least. And that's the other driver, Marcus, just putting out a front into P6. So that's a good performance for him. Still fighting FST. FST's Ryan going off as well. Being pushed off, forced off even. And now sets his eyes behind Victor, which is in the what happened to Max. Straight line into the hairpin between Salvo and also Victor. All plus his team at Ryan was caught in the mix. So a load of huge crashing now between VLS and VRM. So that is something not really nice, but come out on top is Anthony on the hard tyres. He's miles away compared to where Yusuf is, or whatever you want to pronounce his name. 11 seconds. I don't think that would be enough though. If there's a virtual safety car, then yes, he should definitely box. But he's of course on the harder alternative tyres. Holy hairpin terrorism. I know I'm a lap late, but yeah, is what it is, buddy. And he doesn't dive into the pits yet, so I think he's going to stay out. And also Anthony is also kept eye on, because considering the fact he's on hards now, he will be on mediums during the final stints, which means he will be on the better tyre and he will have the big grip. Anyway, Ryan goes quickest with the fastest lap with 30.9. Defending against Salvo is Yusuf in the Red Bull, and into the inside goes Salvo. Late lunge, and he makes that move possible. Yeah, got rear-ended, so he got front wing damage and had the box. Yeah, exactly. I need some co-commentators here, so I don't miss anything. And that's a huge. This is going to be a huge. Yeah, it's going to happen something, I think, here. Ryan, contact between Mark. There's so many cars here. I'm actually going to back up a little bit to see what's going to happen here. Into the inside, locks up by Joseph. But Ryan makes an appearance, and a little bit of contact between him and Yusuf. They're really going all balls out, and even in the mix is Victor. We'll actually move back to the four cars into the spoon corner, and that's one of the Audis off, and it's a huge crash, huge crash between several drivers in Spoon. This is absolute cinematic, and it's into the wall. There's Yusuf into the wall. That's a huge crash, and that's a safety car, and that is a safety car, and that's why you don't go four in a corner, guys. That was. We'll actually go over to his teammate. That car's demolished. That's gone. That's gone. But QDR just missing the pit box as well. A lot of the drivers are going to go into the pit, probably to box for another set of hearts. But Anthony missing the pit box. He could have had the best strategy now to actually win this esports race. Now Salvo taking a good amount of opportunity to stay in that P2. That is, wow. What is going on for this first race? Chaotic racing. 4 wide into Spoon. And going on to the old pits race, that was absolute demolished. We need to get some better POVs here because, man, that is what the actual F is happening here. But yeah, I agree. That is yeah, for everybody is full of terrorism. Yeah, Mercedes drivers. We can argue it is probably filled of Nikita Mazepin, not spinners, but 2025 Antonelli Austrian Grand Prix drivers. I think most of the guys. Some people are innocent to be Max drivers. So what happened? 4 widening Spoon. Audi got spun. They're actually doing well now, 3 and 4. So they were really unlucky for what happened to them. And the use of defending with his life on lap 12 on old tyres, and it caused him to just absolutely get killed. So he's down from fighting like P4 now all the way out of this race. And poor Anthony will have to decide to box now. I think he will actually do that. And now everybody's, yeah, he's going to drop that lead very quickly. And he has to box. I think he's deciding to go in. Yeah, Anthony's into the pits. Unlucky there that this actual safety car wasn't in before. So he will actually be dropping down all the way back to the field. Hydration break. And Salvo is our new race leader. Salvo, who was taken out from lap 1, is now our race leader. Or not lap 1, it was 1 lap at least, from a few laps ago. He's our new race leader. I don't know what's going on, but I am pointing the absolute cinema. If I have an absolute cinema button here, I'd spam it. Because into the wall and a few other stuff, I rarely get that in these chaotic races. So we do sit here and wait. We'll probably have a few angry drivers in chat. I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, and possibly now everybody will make it to the end. Ryan on the one old lap hard. So a few drivers have boxed. But Anthony, sad for him, missing out on that pit window. He would have been leading this race, possibly, or even been in the top, I'd say even top 5, if he would have boxed earlier. Could have even been lower though. But then again, he is now last, but he has nothing to lose. So we hope for the best of him. They absolute pressures. Safety car might be in this lap, considering that it's everybody's lined up. Race control says it's safety car in this lap, so Salva will be our driver to start this grid. But that fuel limiter is on that car, and it's off, so it's in the perfect window now. With almost 12 laps, 13 laps to go, 12 after this. We await and see when Salvo decides to go. It could be now, it could be soon, it could be in 2, 3, 1, and there it goes! Boogity boogie, we're going racing in after the safety car restart. Salvo gets a good run, but behind him he's got a lot of drivers fighting for it, with Charlie going for a move on Marcos, trying his best, but Bestie helps him a little bit by blocking in Charlie. So the two Audis are in front, and now on the attack is Baby Driver. Few positions have been lost in the back here, and Bayton is all the way in the back, so something's happened there for him, Rebel Driver, and a few drivers is going, and there's another yellow flag. We'll actually go over, and it's the man, whatever you want to call him, IGL has lost it, and he's in the back of the pack now again. And Salvo is still our race leader for this Grand Prix. With the two Audis of, I need to check the team, it is none other than VZN, sorry. Yeah, it even says in Battisti's name. But VZN are looking very strong. And early deployment for Salvo, trying to get away from Battisti. %, on his battery compared to a 20 plus battery percentage for Battisti, 90% now, 70 for him. And now we enable overtake mode, and this is the best shot Battisti has to win this Grand Prix. A few moves have been made in the back. A few cars actually scrambling for a huge amount of positions. And in turn one, I think FSD Robin is going balls out, and he's holding on to that inside line, and he makes a placement up into the points, and through goes Vietnamberry! What an absolute move from the VMB driver! What an absolute send he did it! He just decided to go for it, and he made that move pass, and he's into P10, dropping FSD Robin down a placement. And going up to the front again with these drivers. Still nothing really has changed. Except for Salvo is our race leader. Still holding on to that. But he's got two angry Audis of VZN drivers. Possible 1-2. Yes, it is, Caden. It's 100% possible. But you'll have to see if Salvo will defend against these two drivers. But the battery deficit is kind of similar, so but one is overtaken, the other one doesn't. And going into 130R. No deployment here. But what a run Bestie has onto Salvo, and he's a new race leader into the inside, into the casino triangle. And he makes a move, and we have a new race leader. FSD Robin! FSD Robin has lost his into the wall! FSD Robin is out of the race. And there's another safety car. Is it a virtual though, or is it full course safety car? I think it's a virtual. Another safety car. With Battisti taking that P1. And now the only thing he has to hope is that Marcos can make that job as well. What happened to Victor? Victor was in a fight, but he got straight lined by one of the Mercedes drivers of VMR, and he dropped down. I think he actually had a bad run. So with full caution is out, and we're still going for it. Salvo taking it inside just before hairpin, but I think Battisti is still holding on to it. Yes, he is. He's still holding on to it, slowing his companion down, a little bit of nudge. Salvo wants to get past really badly, and into the inside, and yeah, he still holds on to it, but Battisti will have a... No, he doesn't, he moves back, he slots behind Salvo, and Salvo is still holding on to this race lead. He's not giving up for this, everybody. And onto the battery now. Salvo is a low battery though, quite low, with about 30% deficit between two drivers. And now we will see and wait. This is where Battisti made a move before. Oh, we have found our VZN here. Oh wow. Hope you like to see your drivers in P2 and P3. And there's another yellow flag. What happened to VMV Grenade? Yeah, he's spinning there, and VMV Grenade has spun it just before the pit entry, and he's retired from the session on track. And I think the poor Solar Grenade, who was doing so magnificent last season, pulls up the flag and he decides to retire. No complications though will be made. And Salvo holds on to this lead with his dear life. But we are waiting to see, because Battisti is getting closer and closer. 100% battery. They're very similar on battery power, so they're deploying in the same place. But Marcos is also in the mix, but also Charles. So there's a load of drivers for the mix for this win, but Charles has got an all-round lower battery than everybody else. Bestesti is making frantic moves to try to get past. He's really desperate to get past here, but that battery will come into favour now because he's got around about 10% more battery than his fellow rival for the win. Marcos will have to comply well with his teammate here, because into the inside goes Bestial Salvo, into the casino triangle, and he takes that P1 yet again. Now he has overtake mode and is in P1. No, he doesn't. Now with Salvo going with another run for him, Ryan goes quickest, but Salvo is still holding on with a little bit of battery. He doesn't have left, and he has to give that position up. And our new race leader is Bestesti, the guy I can't even pronounce the name of. With Marcos in P3, this will be a good VZN 1-2 if neither of the Marcos can get past. But he has Charles behind him with hot pursuit with a high voltage battery as well. Percentage battery, excuse me. And Charles is setting on for a podium here for 7X7M. Did well in pre-season. I know! And that's Bestesti losing it! Losing it out of the corner, and now Salvo takes the lead with Marcus scrambling for positions, going defensive on Charles, but I think Charles makes the move. Yes, he does. That mess up made Marcos lose that position. We're actually going to keep an eye on these drivers. That's not, and that's into the inside goes Marcos again. Really throwing the car into the corners and letting just stick. Now Ryan is having a go at Charles, which will probably cause Marcus to get a little bit of time into the 130R, and he's past Charles. Deployment, that's a huge crash between Zozo. Zozo's out! Zozo gets spun around again! Zozo's given up. Zozo's given up. He's left the session. He's not dealing with this. And he's stationary on track. After another spin, I can understand that. Retiring on track. Agreed. It's not really allowed, but then again, that's to the stewards to decide, not me. Anyway, now we got Ryan all over the back of Marco. So would Bestesti try to play the team game, or he's going to try to fight for, yeah, double DNF for FST. Something you never see really. Those two drivers already know. I know FST Coda, so it's nothing good for him. Oh, let's split them up. Whoops. And if you wanted me to watch someone else, just let me know. I don't really know where to watch because it's so intense everywhere. And might be the most entertaining race I have ever seen. Agreed. They're giving FST Code another heart attack. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, they are. I'm gonna actually message him and say sorry about your two drivers being absolutely yeeted off the existence and yeeted off the planet. And there's a little bit of a slide for Bestesti, but has he got the battery to fight his fellow camera or his fellow rival in this race? Or for this lap, he's got a little bit of battery and he tries to go around the outside, but is it going to be a Salvo defense? Yes, it is. Salvo will defend that. A little bit of a twitch for Marco. We have a few cheers for Max. And it's so confused to see three reds in front, but yeah, there's not three Red Bull, three Ferrari drivers, but why didn't it make Audi like silver something? Talking about Audi around the outside, and we have a move done again, and Marcos goes painfully defensive, still holding on to that line because he knows if he loses that inside line he will lose it into Spoon. But I think that's all for you drivers. I think this is tactical. Bestesti is looking for it, and a little bit of nudging again from Salvo. Salvo's getting the elbows out, and Ryan is going to have a go at Marco. I don't think this is a good idea going into 130R and this quick speeds is going to be anything. Yes, Ryan gets pushed off. Ryan receives a 3-second time penalty. That will have to be discussed by the stewards after the race. And now Charles having a go at Ryan. But nothing will be made of that. A little bit of a dodgy switch. A little bit of a slippy slide for Ryan. With now his teammate, QDR Yanni and Max Belliamo making moves. And Marco's attacking his teammate now. I think they're deciding to start playing a little bit of team game because this is all there to lose with Ryan in P4. But none of the few other drivers in behind. Look at this. There's a few cars scrambling for positions with Max trying to defend against Max Laurie's teammate. So Max won. Max looking towards the inside, but I don't think there's a move there yet, buddy. And going over to the helicopter camera again. We'll have to wait and see. No sends on it. Yeah, there's one send of it. There's a little bit of contact between Victor and Anthony. Of course, a lot of stuff will be discussed after the stewards. And there's a huge send for Baton. And the Audis go side by side. It's not good fighting here. And we'll move over to Ryan, who has the front row seat of what's actually happening in the top 3. But I don't think he has the battery to fight anything yet with 5 laps almost to go. And he's got a good run on Marcos, but I don't think that's going to be just enough. But a lot of the drivers are actually contact between a load of drivers, and I think that's Max Laurie making moves. Now going side by side with Charles' team, and Charles is going to back off because, of course, that's the teammate thing to do. And there's contact almost between the 2 drivers. That's so close. We have a yellow in Sector 1. I think that's actually someone deciding to retire. They're so close between the 2 X7M drivers. That's something a manager or even an owner, founder would have a heart attack for, seeing that 2 drivers crossing paths on the straight or even bumping tires. But this is, of course, their game to lose. And Marcos Pennick has a 3-second time. No, it's not him, but he is under attack. Drew's gonna all retire once they see over 40 tickets. Yeah, I'm part of a student team, and I think I'll just drink a load of vodka and make stupid decisions. Anyway, never mind about that. Marco now has Ryan and Max with a good recovery drive back for that fight. But of course, Salvo having a good run. What happened to X7M Laurie? Never mind about that, because Ryan's trying to make a move on Marco. And Max just having a front row seat of his team trying to fight and get past. What happened to Laurie? I think he had a little bit of contact between one another drivers. I'm not 100% sure about that. If it's something I missed it, probably, or just can't remember because my attention span is lower than they through, because Ryan's going to go towards the inside of Marcos, and they touch a little bit of wheels, and this is Ryan past. Ryan makes a move to the position he started from, hopefully, probably. But with that 3-second time penalty, that is going to losing a load of time, so he's probably going to drop back very far. So it's a shame we can't press one driver to look how far is behind him. But anyway, it doesn't matter about that, because now Stesti is recharging that battery like a maniac, trying to hold it as high as possible so he can make some fancy moves on Salvo. But he's got Ryan who's win hungry tonight, with Marcos as well, has to start stepping up to help his team, and Max as well. 2 drivers who have their team probably fighting for a win need to start stepping up to that top step to help them. But unfortunately, Marco is looking at a podium here, so the only thing he has to do is, of course, cross the line with no one overtaking him from behind. But he is under threat by Max, and now Max is setting itself very late braking for Marcos, and that's side by side with him with Ryan, and I think that is Marcos off again. Yeah, that's Marcos off again after making a bad decision, too late on the brakes, and he sets his eyes now to try to take Max again. And I think these drivers are getting annoyed with each other because they're really up close. No, that is probably a reason. I agree on that. But then again, it's getting desperate. 2 moves left though. 2 laps left. And Besesti is running very close to Salvo. So, is it VZN or is it VLS? Or could it even be to the inside goes Bestie onto Salvo? I think that move is going to be made, and we have a new race leader. Bestie takes that race lead, but Salvo has a go at him through the outside. But into Spoon Corner, the Bestie will be the best. And around the outside goes Salvo. He still holds on to it. Still, he holds on to it. What a shocking move. He holds on to that lead. What a recovery drive from this driver tonight. From being knocked off all the way into the back and full front. In the front, he still holds on to that lead. And into the inside goes Ryan with its nice late braking move. Moves past Bestie. And now it's the last lap. Last time to deploy as much battery possible. But Ryan has not a lot of battery. So, what about his fellow comrade or his companion, rival, Besesti? No, he doesn't. But Marcos is being dropped even further behind. Even looking at Victor now on the attack. Max Laurie making a few placements up by losing them again. And that's Max up into another placement. And look at his battery. He's got full battery. This could be the best opportunity VMR has for this probably a P2 run. I think P1 is a little bit far-fetched now. Baton goes quickest with the soft tyres. So, lay on the brakes. There's only a few more shots now. 1 more straight to go. And that's the last you'll have. Marcus will have a attack on Gianni, possibly. But we'll go over to the front man. Salvo with 30, 40, even 50% battery now left. Compared to Basti's 60% battery. And a little bit of a swiggle-wiggle for Ryan. And I think he's done enough. But I think Bestie is going to go for a late move. No, Bestie does go for a late move. It's contact! Contact between Bestie! And look who's here! Max! Max takes it! Max in the opportunity takes P1 for VMR! And he wins the race! VMR are leaders! They took it, they won it! Max taking the opportunity for Bestie and also Salvo making contact! What is going on in Suzuka tonight? Max Belmont takes the win of this first round of EFES Season 3. What is going on tonight? There's going to be so many shoot tickets and I feel sad for myself. He started P4 and just takes advantage of an opportunity. That win was granted to him. But well done. Well done. He took opportunity of a win that was given to him. And he stayed there. And this is your rewards being given. Win for Max Belmidi. Fastest lap goes per Beton. Driver of the day is Yanni, well deserved, and Anthony with the most overtakes. And this is your standings, everybody, after this race. Very shocking race. Max Belmidi, the French driver for VRM, takes P1 in Suzuka. Bestesti, after a late lunge on Salvo, still holds on to P2. Yanni P3 for QDR. Marcus Pennick takes P4 with Victor in P5 for VLS. Ryan takes P6, Salva P7, Charles in 8th, Max in 9th, Anthony in 10th, Baby Driver F1 11th, D blah 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 takes in 12th, Nate Benry VMV takes P13, Beton with 14th, and that's everybody else have DNF which are Zozo, Grenade, Robin, and you something, blah, 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 blah. What an absolute race we've had here at Suzuka tonight. I can't believe it. There's going to be so much talking points. Yeah, a lot is going to be said, I think, after this. And a load of cussing as well. And yeah, that was your live coverage. But we'll go over to the winning car. That's what we normally do. And F126. And the Mercedes takes it. Wow. I don't know really what to say about that. They took, I mean, fairs to VMR and the Mercedes for taking that P1. It was given to them with a stupid lunge. They'll have to be discussed in the FIA room. All I can say is thank you for an amazing first race of the season 3. Next race coming up is on Tuesday, which is the F2 division, where we'll have a few other teams competing for the F2 championship. I'd like to thank the EFES management for letting me commentate. It's well appreciated. I will all see you next race, which will be none other than calendar. There we go. Next race will be in Melbourne, so let's see how the drivers decide. How the F1 drivers will decide to manage their battery in Melbourne, because I mean it's very bad. Thanks again to the EFES management for letting me commentate. And tomorrow, on Tuesday, you will have the F2 division. So stay tuned for that. I was your host, Cola.